What up? It's the kid. It's the child. Um, Trying to live, trying to exist, trying to be the best guy that I can be, man. Hope everyone is doing good. Everyone is doing fine. Everyone is being the best that they can be. That's the key thing. Hopefully, everyone is the best that they can be. Whenever I start these things, I've always got to say, this is how we always start. First is, hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody is safe and everybody is keeping this whole self-isolation thing proper. Okay, this isn't like some kind of hoax. This isn't like some kind of weird government plan. Be wary, be safe, keep yourself safe. That's the first thing. Second thing is meal. Every single time we do these, I'm big on food. People say, wait, you're so weird and everything. Screw you. Induct yourself. So for people who are coming into live chat right now, I want you to tell me what you're eating. Just tell me the food you're having, the meal you're having, and what drink you're having, because I think that a meal isn't really a meal, or a snack isn't really a snack if you don't have a drink or a beverage. I just had my pasta, and I've got my Lucozade orange here, my pasta in there, and my Lucozade orange in there. So that's how I want us to roll with this whole thing in there. So to tell you what's going to be coming up on the show, man, and I think you all know because it probably says it on the flipping title. We're going to talk about X-Men. The X-Men franchise, and then I want to talk about ice cream and just my view on ice cream and what I think is the go to ice cream, because when we've had, and I think is a great conversation. That what is the greatest ice cream of all time? What ice cream supersedes all? So before we do that, I wanted to say what up to all the people who are in here. Yo, what's happening, man? So you already ate. But what did you have? That's what I want to know. Green tea with honey and beeswax. Interesting, man. I'm a huge fan of green tea. I just say for me, I'm more of a coffee guy than a tea guy. But whenever I drink tea, I drink green tea, and green tea is actually very healthy for you. Speaking of, just that it's obviously a bit hot now and everything, but obviously whenever it gets cold, I always ride with green tea. And whenever I went to my office and so forth, I always read with green tea. A cup of coffee, it's morning for me. Oh, interesting. So how many? So where all of you guys are? So maybe you guys are maybe in America or so forth. So are you? So how are you guys East Coast? Are you guys West Coast? Where in the United States of America are you guys? Bread and eggs, but Janvan, are those scrambled eggs? Is that a Scotch egg or just that's a regular egg? I need to have details of this stuff, man. But yeah, but look, man, I had pasta with this very, very nice spicy sauce that they put on the side. Chinese sauce. Look, don't. Yes, it's a Chinese sauce. Had with the pasta with some Cyclops sauce, and then I rolled through with this Lucozade that I'm having, man. So look, man, that's how we're rolling in there. Hope you guys are enjoying your meal. Hope you guys are enjoying your time. And look, man, we're going to talk about, but these live things are supposed to be very free. Yes, I've got topics, but they're supposed to be very free. But before I do this, I have to keep reminding people, this is for you. These are very free and these are very informal, but they are led by you. So if there are any topics you want me to cover on these live shows, send your boy an email. I believe the email is in the description box below. I mean, I think it should be. But yeah, in the description box below, you will see the email, myhalffullpot@gmail.com, So before we roll through everything, send me an email. Shoot me an email of like, okay, HH, I want you to cover this. I want you to talk about this. I'm more likely than not, especially if it's a good topic, not a brick topic, I will put it on the docket for us to have a nice open discussion about this. So let's ride through. So I want to talk about the X-Men franchise. Now, I watched X-Men 2 today, or rather X2. So the only one I haven't watched is Apocalypse, which I heard was an apocalyptic crap fest. So I'm not coming anywhere near that pile of garbage called X-Men Apocalypse. So I've watched the whole franchise right now, but I think before I wanted to do this, I felt that it was important for me to watch X-Men 2 because many people regarded it as one of the best films of the franchise. And also it was the second film. And watching it now, I remember, because for me, I watched X-Men, wasn't a huge fan. I saw the trailer for X-Men 2, said, forget this. Then when I heard that Brett Ratner was directing The Last Stand and it wasn't Bryan Singer, I was like, okay, let me give this a go. And even if Last Stand wasn't great, I actually enjoyed Last Stand the most. I think Last Stand has been the most enjoyable X-Men film for me. It ain't great. Last Stand ain't great. It's not a masterpiece of work, but it's one that I enjoyed the most. So then after looking at Last Stand, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. So when you now watch X-Men 2, you now see why, oh yeah, so that's why Pyro is that dude over there. Okay, so that's what happened to Jane Grey and so forth, and all those things. So the issue for me, let me just start by saying this: X-Men is a superb concept. It's an amazing concept, because it's about racism. It's essentially about racism, but instead of Black people or so forth, it's mutants. And X-Men always felt a little bit more edgier, a bit more serious, and addressing more things than other comic books did. So it was very similar to like The Punisher, or in a bit, or like Spawn, where it was grown up. It wasn't like a Spider-Man or like a Green Lantern or so forth, which is just very much comic book felt. Like X-Men just seemed a cut above. So I remember when they said, okay, they're making an X-Men film. I was like, is it too early? Because there's a lot of special effects are required to make this stuff work, because these are X-Men. These are guys that have huge mutant powers. But when they said Bryan Singer was directing, I was like, my God, Usual Suspects. Let's ride. Like, boom, he directed one of the best films of an entire decade in Usual Suspects. So you thought, okay, now we're going to get something real. And let's just go through the films that I watched. Let's just go through the films. And, you guys can help me in case I miss any. So let's just start first with X-Men 1. It was the initial thing, because I remember when I watched it in the cinema, we watched it, I think, with my brothers and my sister as well. It's at first viewing, it was like, wow, that's Cyclops. Wow, that's Wolverine. Wow, that's Storm. So when you first saw the characters, it was, my God, these characters that you've grown up with reading comic books and cartoons, these are now them in real. But for me, like, things hit me very quickly. And this was the biggest failure of X-Men and what Bryan Singer did. The casting is key. The casting is vital, because these characters are very, very crucial. And these are very particular kinds of characters, man. So if you don't cast them well, it fails, because these characters are very particular. And there is an order to how these characters are. Cyclops is the leader. Storm is second in command. Wolverine is the outsider. And those are very important dynamics, because that chemistry is very important to what makes it tick. Because it's like a family, but somewhat of a dysfunctional family that needs to sort out issues, but you have to very much define where they all are. We're going to talk a lot about Wolverine, but let's just first start with X-Men. I had a big issue with Storm, because Storm was too short. Storm is Angela Bassett. Like, without even thinking, Storm is literally Angela Bassett. There is nothing more to say, nothing more to think about. Storm is literally Angela flipping Bassett. So I don't understand how you missed that casting, because when you think of Storm, whether you see it in the comics or whether you see it in the cartoon and so forth, she's graceful. She's imposing. She has a great aura. There is something regal about her. There is something magnanimous about her. So casting of Storm was already Halle Berry, because Halle Berry has zero presence. She's too short. She's too small. And she doesn't have the kind of grace that an Angela Bassett has. So that was a break. For me, with Cyclops, I would have picked like a Jim Caviezel, who I've always said that, this would have made a very good Cyclops if you had brought in a Jim Caviezel at that time. But the issue was that he just wasn't as well known as a James Marsden, who was always around, So, and for me, like, the Cyclops was extremely boring. He was like a cardboard box, and this could have been an opportunity to really give a strong character to the guy who is the leader of the X-Men and the guy who is who is Professor Xavier's second dude. Xavier was superb casting. That's one thing I'd say was the casting of Patrick Stewart. I have to give Bryan Singer. That was simply amazing. So when you watch the first X-Men film, it's like, oh, this is damn cool. Magneto isn't good casting, but Ian McKellen is such an amazing actor. It's still cool. So, because for me, I've always said, Magneto, right? You should have gone with like a Jeff Bridges or someone like of that ilk. But Ian McKellen did such an amazing job, and he has such a great chemistry with Patrick Stewart, and because they are friends and so forth, I was like, okay, no, this works. This works. So when I watched the film the first time, I was cool with Wolverine. But the back of my mind was like, okay, yeah, he's a bit too tall because Wolverine is supposed to be short. But I was so excited to see Wolverine on screen. Like, I remember that first time when I remember the magazine, the Empire magazine, where they showed you a preview of the film and you saw Wolverine in the cage, and I was like, me and my brother were so excited. Oh my god, damn! Because one of my brother's favorite comic characters of all time is Wolverine. So, and again, that he's one of my favorite characters. So when I saw the film, I was just so happy just to see Wolverine on screen. I was like, yeah, but it's Wolverine. Like, look at Wolverine doing his thing. But then at the back of my mind was like, something just doesn't feel right. But then after I saw the film, I was like, yeah, the film just doesn't stay with me. I've seen it. I only saw it once in the cinema. I never saw it again. And I was like, yeah, this film just, it's sort of like, I was happy that, wow, these guys are on screen, but they didn't do them justice. So I skipped to X-Men 2. So when then X-Men The Last Stand comes in, and The Last Stand took a lot of crazy risks and did some crazy things, and I get why people hate it. But for me, it was exciting. Yes, they obviously did one of the greatest sagas in comic books, which was the Dark Phoenix saga and so forth, and the effects on the Dark Phoenix saga was damn good. But for me, I just thought like it was an exciting film, and for me, it was more exciting for me than the first X-Men film. Remember, I didn't watch X-Men 2 yet. So now this is where things don't get dicey. X-Men: The First Class. Now, I'll keep it a stack. I'll keep it all the way a stack, man. So Fox's Cyclops was really. You see, and that's the thing, Darren, is that this is the mistake that people always make. Does Cyclops have to be boring? That's just what it's. Does Cyclops have to be boring? He doesn't have to be boring. Like, this is not, because if someone is the leader of a group, he should have a very particular character and he should have leadership qualities, And one of the biggest issues, and how many issues? One of the biggest issues I had with the X-Men franchise with Cyclops, in particular, was Cyclops was just there to be a foil for Wolverine. That was it. He wasn't a character in and of himself. He had no agency. He was just there to be like, hey man, this is the Boy Scouts, and this is just the guy that makes Wolverine look really cool. And I'll get to the whole Wolverine dynamic. So X-Men First Class. The thing with X-Men First Class is, so this was done by ouch. So this was done by the English, I've forgotten the dude's name, the director. The guy that did Kick-Ass, I've forgotten his name, but he directed the Kick-Ass as well. I found First Class boring. Like, I don't know any other way to put it, but I found X-Men: The First Class boring. I appreciated what they were trying to do, which is that let's go younger. Rather than continuing with this future stuff and everything, let's go younger. But what I would say though is, I'm not the biggest fan of James McAvoy. I thought he was okay as Professor Xavier, but 100%. Why do I forget his name? The guy that played Magneto. The guy that played Magneto, he was superbly cast. That dude was superbly, amazingly cast, and he did an amazing job. And for me, arguably, you could say that he props did a no, I can't say he did a better job than in mechanic. He just for me, I just felt like he encapsulated that character really, really well. Um, so, but the issue with First Class was the best thing about it. I thought was the character of Magneto. Jennifer Lawrence, I thought was annoying and pretty weak as Rogue. Beast wasn't really as good as the Beast in Last Stand. Guys, I was watching some of X-Men Last Stand to today. Kelsey Grammer as Beast, because Machine even mentioned it. Kelsey Grammer as Beast was pretty damn good. Kelsey Grammer as Beast was pretty damn good. So for First Class, I was like, okay, this is cool, but it just felt boring. It just felt boring to me. Like it did not have the kind of excitement that you need from an X-Men film. So after First Class, what do we have now? Come on, let me just see. Okay, wait. X-Men films. First Class. So X-Men First Class. I'm never going to talk about X-Men Origins. So basically, X-Men Origins and the Wolverine, complete and utter garbage. Complete and utter flipping garbage. So I believe the next one was, I think it was Days of Future. Yeah, I think Days of Future Past was there next. Yeah. So you see, X-Men Days of Future Past, see, that is an amazing storyline. An absolutely incredible storyline. But for me, the storyline just wasn't done justice. See, that kind of story is so incredible. It is so flipping out there. It is so superb based on the timelines and everything. You need a strong visual director. And for me, Bryan Singer doesn't have the visual skill or that kind of zest of excitement that a Spielberg or a James Cameron has to really execute that kind of story. So for me, as I watched, I was like, okay, this is a cool story and everything. But again, I just got bored. But I already know the story. So yes, the story is there and everything, but it's not down to you to execute the story. I can't just say the film is amazing because I had an amazing story. No, the story exists in and of itself. So you as a director and what you do as characters and so forth, how well do you put it across? And I don't think they did it that much justice. I don't need to watch X-Men Apocalypse. Watching the trailer was not said it was complete and utter crap. X-Men Dark Phoenix. The less, oh wow, X-Men Apocalypse came out in 2016. Okay. X-Men Dark Phoenix, the less said, the better. The less said, the better. And for me, I think with regards to the Wolverine films, those are single films, so I don't really count them. And then now, when we now come to X-Men 2 now, X-Men 2 was all right. Decent. It was better than the first X-Men film, but it still went down. It still had the same issues I had with the first X-Men film, which is that it's bad casting. You're not properly utilizing your characters. Storm was a sideshow. Storm is second in command. She's second in command. And she was treated like a flipping sideshow. She was flipping like a flipping sideshow. So for X-Men, so it just felt redundant. And I remember, why it was disappointing was I remember seeing the trailer for X-Men 2. And I remember when they introduced Stryker and the fact that you were going to now learn about the Weapon X program and so forth. I thought that Stryker would be a far more interesting villain than how he was represented. In the end, he was just like, okay, I have this grudge because of, my son was this and that. And then that was it. But the story just felt all over the place. And also, why the bloody... So you have a Cyclops, you have a Jean Grey, you have a Storm, but instead the focus of the story was on Wolverine, Rogue, a childlike Rogue, and Iceman, and Pyro? What? This is a chance to let's advance the story of Cyclops, let's advance the story of Jean Grey, let's advance the story of Storm. Let us now build upon the core characters, which of course are Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Wolverine, and of course Professor X. Who cares about Rogue? So, oh man, I can't kiss my boyfriend now. So, so whenever I kiss my boyfriend, things that go crazy. I was like, Yeah, we got that in the first film. Okay, but we don't. You need to repeat that same shtick in the second film. So the issue with X-Men is whenever you're adapting something, it's a balance. The key to life is a balance. I say the key to life is a balance. You have to understand and respect the core principles of the material that you're adapting. Then you have to now add and bring in your artistic agency and your artistic license. Cyclops was criminally underused. Like, if I am adapting an X-Men film, I will clearly define the hierarchy of the X-Men. Professor X, he is, of course, the overseer and the leader and so forth. But Cyclops is the guy that everyone looks to. I will clearly define as Cyclops is a guy where all responsibility falls to him. All the difficult decisions come to him. And the only person that Cyclops confides in is Storm. And somewhat basically, he confides in Storm with regards to battle tactics and strategy. And he confides in Jean Grey based on their relationship. And he has issues with Wolverine because Wolverine does not respect order and does not respect discipline with regards to how things work. And what makes Wolverine a great character, the only way that Wolverine works is if you define the characters well, specifically Cyclops. Wolverine doesn't work if he makes Cyclops a loser. It doesn't work. What makes Wolverine work is Wolverine is a garbage leader. He's a garbage leader. But the issue that they were having was they were trying so hard to make Wolverine cool, and they're trying so hard to make Wolverine the leader that you've taken away everything that makes him interesting. Why do we like Wolverine? Because 99% of us aren't chosen as leaders. 99% of us aren't prefects. A lot of us are the underdogs, and a lot of us have to take orders from people. And there is something about this kind of anti-establishment thing within us. There's something rebellious about us, and Wolverine is rebellious. But here's another thing, because people keep getting at me that, oh gosh, stop it. Like, Hugh Jackman was a great character in it and everything. Why are you hung up on his height? Let me bring an example. What if Tyrion was 6'3", 6'4"? What if Tyrion was the same height as Wolverine? Would Tyrion still be a great character? 99% of what makes Tyrion a great character is the fact that he's short. That is what makes it, because visually, even before he speaks visually, he stands out because he's different from everyone else. Why we liked Wolverine was this guy is shorter than everyone else. This guy has extremely violent and crazy superpowers with the fact that the claws come out of his knuckles and so forth, and his attitude. But visually, before he even says anything, because he's shorter than everyone else, already you're like, oh, because we love the underdog. Why do we like Rocky? Because he's the underdog. And in a fight, the shorter guy against the taller dude comes in as the underdog. Why did we endear ourselves to a Mike Tyson? Because as he was coming in, he came in as like the underdog. He was the shorter dude. And there is a thing called short man syndrome. Let me link something to you guys, because you guys keep saying that I'm crazy. Let me link something to you guys. Oh gosh, what's this? Let me just show you something. You guys think I'm crazy? Share screen. Let me bring this up. Share. Anatomically, the Wolverine is a stocky and muscular animal with short legs, broad and rounded head, small eyes, and short rounded ears. See that? This is a Wolverine. It's stocky, it's short, it's small, and that is a defining feature of it. What is it? Open image. that is a defining feature. Like when you look at that, see, that's is a defining critical feature of the Wolverine. And I promise you, the artists who thought of Wolverine, they had this in mind. Why would they call the character Wolverine? They call it Wolverine because they're like, okay, we want the character to evoke that animal. That isn't a lion or a bear. It's short and stocky. But you go try and mess with, bro, I ain't messing with that dude. I ain't messing with that dude. So, and that was one of the biggest problems, because trust me, because they did so much to downplay Cyclops and to pump up Wolverine, for me, Wolverine isn't cool. I'm like, you're tall, you're 6'5", you've got huge claws, everyone listens to you, you're pretty much the leader. You're not interesting. So I don't get how people found Wolverine interesting in the films. Because, so you're attractive, you're good looking, you're tall, you're pretty much the leader, people listen to you, and so forth, people confide in you. Then what's interesting? What's made Wolverine interesting in the comics is he is the most attractive dude. He's short. We all know about how women treat short people and how women say that, look, I don't date short guys, so he's short. He isn't the most attractive. He's got short man syndrome. He's got anger issues. And he's a tenacious dude. So because of that, that was why it made him interesting. But what makes him even much more interesting that he's a garbage leader. And that is what the biggest thing that the films missed. What the films had to hone in on was Cyclops is always the leader, and he has leadership qualities. Wolverine doesn't have any leadership qualities, and that is one of his drawbacks. Perfection isn't interesting. If somebody is attractive, they're tall, they have cool powers, people listen to them, then why are they interesting? People who are interesting are guys that, oh no, there's something missing there. We endear to Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is far from a perfect dude. He's a real dude with flaws. The Wolverine from the comics has a lot of flaws. He's far from being perfect. And that's why we love him so much. And the reason why we don't really like Cyclops that much is because he is almost the perfect dude. Apart from his whole mutant stuff, he's almost the perfect dude. But you have to have that dichotomy of the perfect Boy Scout chiseled leader and the outsider. An outsider can't be a leader. You know what I'm saying? He can't be a leader. You know? So now let me even take some things from what you guys say, man. You're on the money. In a different world, I would have gone for Kiefer Sutherland. 15 years ago, Kiefer Sutherland would have made a fantastic Wolverine. Bulk him up a bit, darken his hair and so forth to make a thing. But if you're rebooting Wolverine, the issue that Tom Hardy is Venom. That's the issue. And I'm like, Tom Hardy would make a fantastic Wolverine because he's pretty much the right height. Like, he's a little bit tall, but he's not too tall. He's a little bit tall, but he's not too tall. But again, like when you watch like Warrior, and you just look at just the way that he walks, even the way that Tom Hardy walks, the way that he moves, that's exactly how Wolverine moves. So if he wasn't doing Venom, man, he'd make a great Wolverine. He would make a great Wolverine. What's it called? How do we reboot X-Men? Oh, bro. That's the golden question, man. First thing is first. They have to get the cast. Casting is key. Casting is key and critical because 100% they have to reboot the whole thing. Wipe the whole state clean. Because do you know what's really annoying is how people say, "Oh no, Hugh Jackman has retired the character of Wolverine. You can't recast him." See, I was about to throw up the middle finger, so I'll just say this: I'll say screw you, screw you, screw you. There ain't no retirement of any character. Get stuffed. Wolverine can be recast. You need to find the right cast. As I said again, pick a Cyclops who is a great actor and can evoke and encapsulate a leader. You don't have to be a one-dimensional Boy Scout. Think about it. Cyclops is, look at the amount of responsibility that he has, and he is fighting the very fact of I am standing for the integrity of mutants, but these people hate us. So you can go into the deep psychology of within Cyclops of is Magneto right? Look at all the stuff of we're doing. Look at how much we are acquiescing to the human beings. So he's like, so maybe there are times in which he's like, man, look at all the stuff that we're doing, and we still get treated like trash. Let's just go the Magneto route. So the difficulty of him trying to maintain the vision that Professor Xavier has of no, we have to be better than what Magneto wants us to be. Can we have a Storm that's tall and graceful, please? I mean, I wouldn't mind like a Denai Guerrero or this she's called Tiana Paris, who is a great actress. But the casting of Wolverine is key. I mean, you cannot mess this up again. You cannot mess this up again. The casting of Wolverine is key. But what would also be important is the director. The director is vital because that's the guy with the vision. Why was Batman Begins such an amazing reboot? Yes, you had Bale, you had an amazing cast. Nolan was key because what they wanted was that, all right, Batman and Robin was gutter trash. Batman and Robin was gutter trash. We have to go in a different direction. So I don't know who the producer was, but the producer said, whoever at Warner Brothers said, let's take it back to what Tim Burton did. Let's get something real. Look at that dude that did Memento and Prestige. Imagine the Memento or the Prestige aesthetic for Batman. Let's try and imagine how Batman would fit in the real world and bring in this kind of indie filmmaker into the whole thing. And that's also was a successful reboot. So if you're doing X-Men, you know who there's only one dude. Let me share screen. Oops. There's only one dude. I got it, guys. This is the dude. You want to successfully reboot this? This is the dude. That's the dude. Why does he walk? The key to a reboot is the psychology of a reboot is we need to go in an aggressively different direction from the previous thing. The previous franchise went all the way down, and we have to now bring in a whole new aesthetic that is the opposite of what we saw. Bryan Singer and the dude who did First Class, good filmmakers, they lack visuals. They were unable to get into the character work. Have you guys seen the level of the visuals on Hellboy Golden Army? Like, I don't know how this guy did not do the part 3. And that new Hellboy film is garbage, crap. Have you seen the level of the prosthetics on Hellboy Golden Army? And also, is this Ape Sapien? Bro, no, wait. Wait. Hellboy, Golden Army. Have you? The level, because remember, Guillermo del Toro is an artist. He's an artist. So Guillermo del Toro is very carefully looking at all the different aspects of all this stuff. So wait, actually, come here, wait. Where is Ape Sapien? Who is the guy? Look, Hellboy himself is a superb character, but Ape Sapien, right? Ape Sapien, Hellboy. You see, this is what we need. The level of these visuals, but it's not. He's not a visual merchant. People say, "Oh, relax. We don't need a visual merchant." Guillermo del Toro understands character, and he cares about character. What is the big thing about X-Men? Characters. What did he do so well in Hellboy? He was able to create the chemistry and have well-defined characters and the way that they related against one another. Imagine what he could do with the look of Storm, the look of Cyclops, the look of. Imagine what this dude could do with a Wolverine, and I promise you, because Guillermo del Toro, he's an artist. See, once you're an artist, you think a very certain way. Because Bryan Singer is not an artist, he doesn't really understand nice psychosis. Okay, it's important as an artist. Because your boy Guillermo del Toro is an artist, I promise you, if you see him pick a Wolverine, Hugh Jackman will get lubricated. I'm sorry. Go me crazy. Hugh Jackman, when you see Guillermo del Toro, I know it's won't happen. It's just me dreaming, so relax. If you see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, sorry, if you see Guillermo del Toro's Wolverine, Hugh Jackman will be lubricated. And the funny thing is this. If he gives you a Wolverine proper, the way he's supposed to be done, that short outsider, people will forget about Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman wasn't that great. But no. We have it, man. We have it, bro. We have it. We have it, man. D&D. What do you mean by D&D? Say again. What do you mean by D&D? Bro, colors, casting, character design. It's like it's basically, I don't know whether somebody has not done this 1+1. This is the most. I'm gonna tweet this out. This makes sense. This makes sense because there is no other director who understands visuals, comics, is a good filmmaker, understands story, and represent the emotions of characters, as well as a Guillermo del Toro. Because the thing with the Guillermo del Toro is, even when you look at Hellboy, every single character matters. Of course, Hellboy is the main character, but every single character, he gives so much effort into every single character, man. Honestly, I hope they reboot X-Men, but it's in a different universe from the MCU. But if don't Disney now have the rights to X-Men? Because I believe the final Disney owned 20th Century Fox. Fox were the people who did X-Men. So Disney now have the rights to X-Men. Because remember the discussion that we had before. There's no Iron Man. There's no Captain America. If they you see, because they'll just F it up, man. They'll just F it up because then you'll bring in Captain Marvel and all that garbage, man. Because I'm bringing in Captain Marvel, man. I'm like, no, move. If they can just make this in its own universe, because see, the right artistic move is to reboot X-Men in its own universe. The right business move is you put X-Men in the MCU. Because this is how you replace Captain America and Iron Man. X-Men. I mean, my God, like, wow, you now have access to Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine. Oh my God, man. Okay, boom. So yeah, man. So the way Captain America is portrayed in the MCU is the type of aura Cyclops should have in X-Men. Yes and no. Yes and no. That's a good call. I'm going to come to that right now. That's a really good. That's okay. Wait, I'm going to come to that. Wait, the way Captain America in the MCU is the type of yes and no. Yes, Cyclops and Captain America share the same unwavering belief in good and doing the right thing. But where they are separate is, I believe Cyclops is dealing with more inner turmoil than Captain America. Cyclops is a mutant. And at one point, his life got turned upside down. And remember, Captain America is treated as a hero. People love him. People aspire to be him. The world aspires to be like Captain America. Cyclops, human beings there are a large portion of human beings that are afraid of him, a large portion of human beings that hate him and despise him. So the kind of hatred that Cyclops has to deal with is the same kind of hatred that a Captain America has to deal with. That is why it doesn't make sense for Cyclops to be a Boy Scout. It makes no sense for any mutant to be a Boy Scout based on what they have to deal with in the world that they're in, that world that's been created by the X-Men, based on how people view the mutants. So Cyclops being a Boy Scout doesn't work. Captain America being a Boy Scout works because people love him. How are you a Boy Scout when you have people that hate you, that want you dead, that want to kill you and think that you're a freak? So that's where they're different. But this is a good call. That's an interesting call. Richard Madden. Richard Madden as Cyclops. That could work. That could work. Because he was, what was it called? He was in Game of Thrones. Richard Madden as Cyclops. Let's see. Open image, new tab. Could work. Could work. Because this dude is a very good actor. I think he won an Emmy for The Bodyguard. So this could work. This could work. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. That's a good call. It's just they could do a parallel universe to MCU with X-Men like Sony has done with Venom, etc. Crossover sometimes. No, I mean, again, as I said, the right artistic move is to make it a separate universe because you're dealing with so many characters. So putting the X-Men in the MCU is problematic because now when you now have to do the Avengers or so forth, you're dealing with far too many characters. And there is so much weight that the X-Men have. It only makes sense that they exist in their own universe. So a parallel universe works because mixing the X-Men universe and the MCU, it's too much because like Magneto, Sabretooth, there are so many characters in the X-Men world that's making their own universe. But my main thing is that the right business move to keep them relevant, because again, guys are saying to themselves, okay, what if it doesn't work? what if people are like, you know what, we miss Iron Man and Captain America. We wanted the Iron Man and Captain America, like this stuff that they're showing us doesn't work, man. They're like, man, we need to get something. And what if like DC starts to win? So, but I do think though that having it in a separate universe is the best way to go. Is the best way to go, man. You see, oh, okay. Oh yes. Oh, so Madden has already been cast in the upcoming Eternals movie. Oh, you see, the themes of X-Men are supposed to be subtle on the fantastical surface, but they're going to politicize it and give us the whole stuffed themes, overtly beating us over the head with the likes of it. You see, now this is the issue. I'm so glad that you brought this up. The danger, X-Men is literally the worst property to have in today's world. It is literally the worst property to have in today's world because it is literally a breeding ground for woke, full-on leftists, ultra uber liberal, bangy on the head kind of political signaling, you know. And that's just the thing where it's like, bruh, come on, man. So that's hence why it is very important the director they choose and them giving him their freedom. Because if they choose some side chick director and then they say this is Disney, we want Jean Grey to be like the main character. Honestly, I say no, because Jean Grey just wasn't, you know, powerful enough. She wasn't given enough agency. So they say, you know what, women, me too, women deserve more rights. We're gonna make Jean Grey the main character, and second to Jean Grey will be Rogue, and then Cyclops will be like, oh, Jean, I mean, like I answer to you, and Jean Grey like, no, I'm a woman. I don't answer to no man. I'm a woman. You say, what? Why should I be answering to Cyclops? And you just have issues with basically Jean Grey basically saying what's up to Cyclops. That's the danger that I am worried of this just being a political speech thing. Hence why Guillermo del Toro is the right to do this, because I feel Guillermo del Toro will understand the outsiders, mutant aspect of it and respect the mutant aspect about it. They are mutants. Respect that. There is no reason to bring real world politics into X-Men because it's an allegory. The material is there. If you now bring real world politics, you destroy the beauty of it. Because, as I said again, no, it's about racism or homophobia or any kind of prejudice, but they never spell it out for you in the comics or the cartoons. You just fill in the blanks. But what they do in the comics and the cartoons is this is just mutants, human beings, and that's it. There is nothing they do about, this is just like racism, or this is just like slavery. I don't want to hear about slavery, the LGBT, women's rights. I don't want to hear any of that stuff in an X-Men film because it's X-Men. This isn't a documentary, okay? This is a real life documentary. It's X-Men about flipping mutants, man. So, but again, it's something to be worried about, bro. It's something to be worried about. So look, man, let's take a quick turn here, bro. This is what I've been trying to say to people: the inferiority complex. People think that I'm being too harsh with Wolverine having to be short, and this is just the last thing I say this, and then we'll talk about ice cream. The whole point of casting is the look. You have to have the right look. If you don't have the right look, you don't get cast. Even if you're amazing for the role, if you don't have the right look, you don't get cast. So people are saying that, oh, you had a great audition, you're too tall for the role. You had a great audition, you're too short for the role. You had a great audition, you're too fat for the role. You had a great audition, you're too thin for the role. Sometimes when someone is writing, it's like they will even say it in the description, we're looking for a short, stocky person. We're looking for a fat, podgy person. We're looking for a very wiry, bony, skinny kind of person. Christian Bale. That character that Bale played in The Machinist was super skinny. And I promise you, if you were to read the script of The Machinist, it would say this character is skinny to the point of being anorexia. So Bale was like, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to respect what the I'm going to have to respect what the writers put down. So again, I repeat myself that it is, if a writer was writing the character of Wolverine properly, not Branson properly, it would say in the description, a short, stocky character. That is the description of Wolverine. So if it's a short, stocky character, there are certain actors that simply can't get the role because he has to have the visual look. It's like, okay, let's cast Hugh Jackman or Brad Pitt as the Penguin. What? So yeah, all right. Let's move along, shall we? Ice cream. I love ice cream. I love ice cream. And this is a difficult one when we are trying to look at what is the best ice cream of all time. What is the supreme number one ice cream? It's tough. It's hard. Because there's been a superb journey of different ice creams, and I want you guys to follow me on this journey of ice cream. So let's just see where it first started for. Okay, look, the very basic ice cream. At the very basic. Let's just share screen. Were these. This is where it all started, whether when you were growing up, the guy in the ice cream van going down the streets, or your parents was getting you. It was, you had the cone and you had a little bit of ice cream that was there. And it was very basic, And I started off with, like everyone, I started off with vanilla and chocolate. Like vanilla was always the main one. So every time I had this kind of ice cream, bro, two things, vanilla, chocolate. Then I sort of moved away from chocolate and I just honed in on vanilla and so on and so forth. But then your boy found strawberry. And to this day, strawberry is still my favorite flavor and so forth. But the thing with this ice cream was that it was just very basic. There was nothing really dynamic, different, or interesting about this sort of ice cream. So afterwards, you were like, you know what? We want to take this a bit interesting. I want to really go deeper and really expand upon what an ice cream can do. So I believe the next one for me was this. Cornetto. So what made the Cornetto upper tier 2? Cornetto in its day was tier 2, but like upper tier 2. What made Cornetto tier 2? Similar to the original ice cream. You had the biscuits cone at the bottom and then ice cream at the top. But there was more design and more texture on the ice cream. And again, because strawberry was my favorite flavor, let's just get a, there you go. Oh my God, I missed this. Let's check this out. Oh my God. So what made this beautiful was there was more added on. There was more value added on. So you had what you always had vanilla. So if you got chocolate, it was vanilla and chocolate. If you got coffee, vanilla and coffee. If you got strawberry, vanilla and coffee. So over here, you had the vanilla. but you then had the little bit of strawberry at the top. And then you then have little sprinkles of icing over there. So with this, there were always different ways in which you could take down the ice cream. So I used to, obviously, when I was young and didn't have any class, I was just like, I'd always say bites all the way through. But then as I grew older and I appreciated the quality of an ice cream, what you do is that you just lick the top. And as you lick the top, you just nibble a little bit at the icing. Then as you lick it, you then have the strawberry mixing in with the vanilla. So as you lick it and you now have like a smooth over thing, you would then slowly just go slowly taking it, not biting it, slowly taking it. So as the ice cream slowly goes down, you now get to the biscuits part. And then as you're getting to the biscuits part, you're biting the biscuits as you're taking in the mixed strawberry and vanilla parts of the ice cream. And once now gets to the very bottom, there's that little bit of chocolate that has been hardened at the very bottom. I know you basically nibble on that, bite on it, and boom, you eat it through. So for a large portion of time, I was like, nobody is messing with your boy Cornetto. Nobody is messing with your boy Cornetto. So, Cornetto is saying, what's up? Cornetto is saying, well, what's up, man? So then afterwards, we moved from Cornetto because Cornetto was cool, but there was a new kid on the block who said, you know what? Cornetto is alright, but I want to say what's up. Who remembers this? Viennetta ice cream. Was it? I think there was a vanilla one, wasn't it? There we go. Vanilla Viennetta ice cream. Oh no, or was it strawberry? I want to just say what there's a strawberry one. This was quality. I don't know how many of you guys. Oh my god! You know what? Let's just go. Viennetta ice cream. This was when, we're not taking things to the next level right now. As in, Cornetto is cool. We're now raising the game. So for Viennetta was the ice cream is now a meal. We don't use hands in this dojo. We use no hands in this dojo. Get your flipping spoon or your knife and we ride. So once you just get a knife, you cut a few slices. The level of taste in this Viennetta was like, okay, Cornetto is cool. It felt like you were having a meal. This was the first ice cream where it felt like you were having a flipping meal. So for a good time, I was like, oh, no. Now ice cream has now changed the game right now. Because 100%, in terms of taste, quality of taste, this destroyed and lubricated the original basic ice cream, the Cornetto as well. Then, guys, we found what I considered to be the GOAT. And this is where we now have to have an honest conversation and a debate. When I had this, I said, this is it. I mean, look at that. When I had this, I said that it's over. It's finished. It's over. Cookies and cream. Cookies, Häagen-Dazs cookies and cream. As cool as Viennetta was, it still felt very soft. A little bit too soft and a little bit too ishy. But what Häagen-Dazs did was, you know what, HH, relax, we got you. Häagen-Dazs said, relax. Because I was saying, you know what, ice cream is cool. Let me just go back to my chips and my pizza. But they said, HH, please, we can ride. I'm begging you, HH, please, we can ride. Let's just come on down. So Häagen-Dazs said, put me in the freezer. Just put me in the freezer. Make sure I'm full in the freezer. Take me out. Get a spoon. Cookies and cream. Shove me in. Put me in your mouth. when I tasted cookies and cream, I said, this can't be beaten. The taste, the satisfaction, and what made it great was how it was to dig your spoon into it. But once you were able just to dig your spoon, because it was good, because you had to pretty much fight through to pretty much get a good chunk. And when nothing just went down to you, especially after you've had a massive meal, you're watching a late night film, you're talking into a Häagen-Dazs. I was like, this is probably the greatest dessert of all time. Not only the greatest ice cream of all time, but the greatest dessert of all time. So for a long time, I was like, boom. But guys said, yo, they have these rivals. I'm like, I don't want to give it down. I don't care. There are no rivals. Häagen-Dazs cookies and cream, this is the greatest ice cream of all time. I said, no, HH. There's rivals. I say, shut up. There's no rival. I say, once you see this image, once you open up the thing and you see this image, you're like, no, this is it. This Häagen-Dazs have scientifically found out how to create the greatest ice cream of all time. Taste, satisfaction, filling, feels like a meal, and it's just completely encapsulated everything that we want from a great ice cream. But one day, I said, you know what? I'm an open man. I've been eating cookies and cream for like 4, 5, 6 years. All right, let's look at what their rivals are saying. So then I said, let me check this out, because I said, you can't beat cookies and cream. Wait, is this the... I want to try and find out which is the one. I think this is the one. Wait, is this cookie dough? Ben & Jerry's. Wait, guys, what are the Ben & Jerry's flavors? If you guys can tell me, because I want to know, what are the Ben & Jerry's flavors, if you can tell me. Is it cookie dough? I think it's cookie dough, man. Yeah, it might be this. All right, guys. You know what? I said that you were never going to be beaten. Cookies and cream. I said, you were never going to be... I said, no, cookies and cream. You're the goats. I had cookie dough. And my mouth dropped. I was like, okay, all right. We now have some competition, and I'll be real with you guys. This isn't yet. We'll have the discussion. I'm going to put it and have a discussion and see what guys say. But if I'm going to a shop and I can see a Häagen-Dazs cookies and cream and a Ben & Jerry's cookie dough, I'm going for the Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. Doesn't mean that it's the GOAT, but as of right now, I'm going for a Ben & Jerry's cookie dough, because that may be because I had cookies and cream for so long, and I've just been doing a cookie and dough for maybe the last 2 or 3 years now. What makes cookie dough money? It's very similar, but what gives it an extra kick is the taste. That taste is so rich. Because for me, and that's the beauty about it, I don't have a sweet tooth. I don't like things that are too sweet. I don't really like things that are too sweet and everything. But the sweetness is just right. It's just right. It's just on the money that my... So guys, this is it. So I'm going to put it to you, because for me, I feel that the GOAT ice cream is between Häagen-Dazs cookies and cream and Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. So now, where do you guys stand? Let me take whatever you guys are on. Bro, both are expensive. Both are bloody expensive. But you see, this is what we learned in business. This is what you learned in business. It's a psychological thing. The price isn't just about high profits. The price is part of the product. So them making it a high price is to do with um, the personality of the product. If either Haagen-Dazs or Ben& Jerry's dropped their price, the value of the product would go down. So when you go into a store and you look at that, wait, why is this thing priced so high? In your mind, psychologically, it's like, nah, man, that must be a special ice cream. So obviously for me, man, I ain't buying a Haagen-Dazs or a Ben& Jerry's every single week. I'm like, all right, I'm treating myself. I've got a little bit of loose change. I'm gonna have my Ben& Jerry's or my Haagen-Dazs right now, and then boom, this is me for the month. So the price of them is very, very key, man. I haven't wait, Baskin Robbins. Have I had a Baskin Robbins, bro? I have. Because there was a Baskin Robbins. Because yeah, basically there is a place. I don't know whether you guys know Edgware Road. I think there is this ice cream joint. I think it's a Baskin Robbins in Edgware Road, which is where my friend lives. So you can go in and you can pretty much mix and match. You can mix and match all the different kinds of ice cream flavors and so forth. But I think for Baskin Robbins, I think it's a little bit too rich for me. It's too rich for me, so I don't think really I can really put it at the same level as the other ice creams, man. But I don't think it's on the same level as a Haagen-Dazs or a Ben& Jerry's, man. For me, personally, man. Bro, Salah, you just reminded me, bro. You just reminded me, bro. How could I forget? How the hell could I play? I feel embarrassed, man. Guys, this is another one, man. When I'm on the road, oh my God. When I am on the road, basically, this is how you know that you've seen HH on the road. If you see a black dude with white Magnum, this is my weakness. Give me a white Magnum, I will tell you the code. I will tell you the meaning of life. Give me a white Magnum, and I will tell you the meaning of life. A white Magnum is it's a thing of beauty. A white Magnum is a thing of absolutely thing of beauty, man. It's insane, absolutely insane, man. So yeah, so I've got to put that in there. I've got to put that in there. All right, since guys, show me more ice creams, man. Tell me more. Tell me your go-to ice creams, and then I will try and look them up. Tell me your go-to ice creams, and I will look them up, man. I didn't know. Is this true? Ben& Jerry died from their own. Died from their own ice cream. Is that true? I didn't even know that was no, that would be what. I thought they were even still alive. I thought they were still alive, man. That is true. No, but that's what makes it so beautiful. Is like that crunch that you have with the man. Like, speaking of which, I actually have I have 2 chocolate magnums left in the freezer. I was supposed to have one of them today. So yeah, I have them in there, man. Honeycomb. Let's see what's this was honeycomb. Because I have not had every single kind of ice cream out of the mix. Honeycomb ice cream. It is. It not be an ice cream per se. Ooh. Okay. 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 All right. Let's see this. Ooh. Okay. Honeycomb. Okay. Okay. Um, but this is one of the greatest meals of all time. It's not really an ice cream per se, but it's mixed in, man. Oh my. This, guys, this is my kryptonite. I only have one weakness in life. This is my only weakness in life. Oh, guys, oh my God. Guys, are you looking at this stuff? Guys, check this out. Wait, I'm trying to. Oh my God. Oh Oh mate. Oh, banana split. A good quality banana split. I know what will be amazing. You shoving a pancake in there. You shove a pancake in there, bruh, man. With crisps. Yeah, man. No. Like when you hit it with a banana split, man, it's insane, man. So yeah, so see, if I'm talking about the goat ice cream, I still feel that it comes down to Haagen-Dazs and Ben and Jerry's. I think it really comes down to those two, because I just feel because when you're looking about a goat ice cream, you're looking at longevity, relevance, and accessibility. I think these kinds of particular gourmet ice creams, where you have to go to a Baskin Robbins or an ice cream restaurant, you really can't call them the goat because they're not really as freely accessible as a Haagen-Dazs or a Ben and Jerry's. I think Magnum is a huge shout. It is a massive shout, but I just don't think that its taste is really on the level of a Haagen-Dazs or a Ben and Jerry's. So between Haagen-Dazs and Ben and Jerry's, it really is tough. It really is tough. But I may have to lean towards a Haagen-Dazs because I still think when you take everything into account, if I'm just going to just grade it on your taste and just how well you've raised the ice cream. Because I remember when Haagen-Dazs popped off, it changed the game. It changed the game, and I think Haagen-Dazs is still seen as a true, real revolutionary game changer in terms of ice cream and and the kind of value you can get from your ice cream. So even if I prefer Ben and Jerry's now, I think Haagen-Dazs is the GOAT. I still say Haagen-Dazs is the GOAT, man. I still think Haagen-Dazs is the GOAT, man. Mint chocolate chip ice cream. Mint chocolate chip ice cream. I don't know about that. So yeah, okay, look, man, that's my thing there. My belief there that the goat ice cream is Haagen-Dazs. Put it this way: this is the first way to do it. The goat ice cream of all time, or the goat ice cream maker is Haagen-Dazs. The best ice cream, in particular, may be Ben and Jerry's cookie dough. So that's what I think, guys. I'll take some questions now. Send in your questions. Send in your questions to your boy, man. And I'll be here for the next, 20 or 30 minutes or so, taking your questions. So send those questions in, man. Send those questions in. Anything you want to ask me, anything you want to discuss. We are here. I am here at your service. I'm here at your service. But I have to also remind you guys, remember, if there are any topics you want me to cover on the future shows, email your boy, myhalfhopehot@gmail.com. Email your boy at myhalfhopehot@gmail.com if there are any topics you want me to cover, any suggestions, or if you want to send me a particular message, if you want some advice on something, because I know a dude sends me a message because he wanted some advice on something in particular. So if you want to keep things private, boom, you can send me a message there if you want some advice on some private thing, if you think HH can help you out. But it's how you want to access me. That's how you want to access your boy, man. And the link is in the description box. Take your questions. Let's see. Have you been doing exercise during quarantine? My dear friend, that is a great question. because this is the key time to do exercise. What was I doing, man? I went for a run. So what I try and do is, again, you don't want really to go with huge crowds. I try and go for a run just outside of the crib. There's like a pathway near there, so I just run up and down. So what I did to today was, I don't know how many of you know of the beep test. So the beep test is where you run back and forth between one spot to another spot. So you run, hit it down, run, hit it down, run, hit it down, hit it down, hit it down. So it's because it's better than just running in one straight line, because it's more intense, and it's really pumps up your heart rate. But yeah, I don't want to do insanity, because insanity might rip my balls off. But I am trying to find out a good routine to maybe do within the house. I might do some sit-ups, I may do some press-ups. But yeah, my exercise game hasn't been too good. My exercise game has been too good. I've been having a lot of naps, and so forth, man. So it is what it is, man. A man must sleep. A man must sleep, and a man must relax. So yeah. See what you guys say, man. Do you believe time travel is possible? I wish it was. I wish time travel was possible. But I'd like to think that, based on what I know scientifically, and look, I'm not a science merchant, but the little I know scientifically, I don't think it is possible for the technology we have now. Maybe in the future we would be able to do that, but the thing is that if time travel was available, I just think that would really F up things. So for me, I think time travel will just exist within the movies, because again, like, if you gave human beings access to time travel, everything will screw up. And now when you now say time travel, is time travel one timeline or several timelines? So if I go back into the past and I tell myself, bro, bet on this, that, that, and you'll be really rich. Obviously, I would scare myself if I saw my future self. So I didn't know how my past self would react to my future self. But if I say, okay, no, just shut up, man. Before your life becomes a brick, bet on these things, and let's say I become rich. Will that then change my presence now? Or will my presence remain the same, and that will just create a whole new timeline? So that's what I was asked about time travel. And whenever I look at time travel films, are we dealing with that only one timeline exists? Or are we dealing with multiple timelines? Or if you want to get really crazy, is there only one timeline? So you can say, let's say I go back into the past and I say something to myself. Maybe that was always going to happen. Basically, look, even I'm confusing myself right now, man. Machine, yeah, X-Men First Class, bro. I don't think I want to talk about X-Men First Class. It is an absolute disgrace of a film, man. So I think someone said something interesting, man. Why do you hate Ragnarok? See, my view on Ragnarok, it's complex. It's complex. Ragnarok isn't a bad film. For what it is, it's pretty good. Now, I don't. I'm not a fan of the comedy in Ragnarok, because I'm not a fan of homeboy's comedic timing or whatever you want to call it. But it is what it is. And I respect it for what it is and whatever it's trying to do. But my issue with Ragnarok is it betrays the very fiber and core of what the Thor character is supposed to be about. You know, Thor is supposed to be he's a god, small g. He's a god, and the biggest issue I have with Ragnarok is because you made two brick films, and because you were a brick in both of them, because Chris Brixworth is a brick, you decided to run away and hide behind the comedic genre. And I just think that is an insult and a disrespect to what Thor should be about. Thor should be in the same vein as Gladiator. That should be the aesthetic of Thor. Thor is not supposed to be a comedy. It can have comedic elements, but you're dealing with a god. But Ragnarok is a full-on comedy. So as I watch Ragnarok, I'm like, this is just shameful. Yeah, as a film in and of itself, it's all cool. But for the Thor character, it is an absolute total disgrace to what the Thor character should be. All right. Why do you think Batman doesn't need a Robin? Because Robin's a little. Because look, what makes for me, and this is just what I speak for myself. What makes the character of Batman amazing is he is he's mysterious. You don't know a lot about him. He keeps to himself. You know, that Batcave is where he can get his alone time. And even if he's the closest guy to him is Alfred, doesn't allow Alfred in. Robin pretty much takes away all the mysteriousness and all the darkness from Batman. And whenever you introduce Robin, I just think of the Batman 60s TV series with Adam West, which was a complete joke. So that's my issue. That's my issue with introducing Ross. So for me, Robin can never walk in any Batman story. And whenever I see Robin in a Batman story, it looks stupid. I'm like, there's literally a dude wearing green, red, and yellow. It's stupid. You know, hence why I say that, you know, whenever I see Batman with gray pajamas, I'm like, this is stupid. You know? So when you see with Batman with gray pajamas, it's completely and utterly stupid. Like gray pajamas are like a flipping pot belly. Is totally and utterly stupid. So yeah, man. That is my thing there, man. If you could remove one filmmaker from the history of existence where they never existed, who would it be and why? And how would it change the trajectory of cinema? I would remove JJ Abrams. I would remove JJ Abrams. And why would I remove JJ Abrams? Because no JJ Abrams, no bomb-ass crappy Star Trek reboot, which was crap. No bomb-ass Star Trek Picard, which was done by his company, which was crap. And you have no Force Awakens, which led to Last Jedi. And how would it wouldn't really change that much with regards to the trajectory of cinema, because I don't think Abrams has actually made that much of a big impact in cinema. So if Abrams isn't around, someone else fills the hole of Star Trek, and maybe you get a Tarantino deciding to dip his feet into doing his Star Trek, or perhaps a better director. If there's no Abrams, maybe, just maybe, you get either Spielberg or who it was, John Favreau. Because in hindsight, I said, oh no, Abrams was definitely a better choice than John Favreau to do Star Wars. But on hindsight, looking at what he did with Iron Man 1, looking at what he did with The Mandalorian, I think John Favreau would in hindsight would have been a better choice to do Star Wars. So when you just take that loser, that arrogant prick Abrams out of the picture, I think it opened things up. Way well. All right. Oh, someone hates Wes Anderson, man. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see what else you guys are saying, man. Wow, this is deep. Do you believe in parallel universes? This is a wild world, man. This is a wild world. Because see, people have to understand this. We are so small. We are so minute, so insignificant that I think that there are concepts and things in the universe that are beyond our comprehension. You have to understand, with regards to the universe, human beings are a bunch of bricks. With regards to the universe, human beings are a bunch of bricks. So there may be something even crazier than a parallel universe. There may be something, there are things in the universe that I just think our brain just can't even understand or comprehend. That's why if there is an alien race, I don't think we'll even understand how to view it. Because our depiction of aliens, like that guy with the big head and the big eyes, that's just from our own human understanding and human intelligence. How intelligent are human beings compared to the universe? Like, we're just in a flip. All we know is this solar system, and we are such bricks. We can only land on the moon once. Okay, we are such bricks that we can't even flip in. I'm still waiting for my space station on Mars. Still waiting. Okay, so after all this time, Back to the Future 2, Blade Runner, flipping Jetsons, that you still don't have a space station. But no, let's fight a war. Let's fight a few wars, man. Let's do all this crap, but you can't build this. You can't build one measly space station, and you're going to call yourself an advanced race? Really? How advanced are human beings really? That's what I want to know. But yeah, look, man. See, my dream. I know that unfortunately that's not how happened to me. Is if you could give me a spaceship and just travel and just see what the hell is in that universe. Oh my God. Like, imagine if you just had a spaceship and it just went boom. It just zoomed deep into the universe. Like, imagine the kind of things that you may see. Like, it boggles the mind. That's why sometimes even when I just sit down and just even think of, like, my God, what the hell is out there? Maybe there's an intergalactic war that is happening dozens of times into the universe. Do you know what's even scarier? Do you know what's even scary? Now, this is really where things get scary. What if we are the only species of our kind that exists in the entire universe? Just imagine that. So what were the chances of you being born and being this human being? So what if our species of human being are the only one of existence in the universe? Because for me, the reason why I find that hard is so particular. We're the third rock from the sun. We're just the third rock from the sun. So we're just so that's it. Even you being born is crazy. The odds of you just being born and existing, those are crazy odds, man. See, when you really think about it, man, it can make you go wild, bro. It can make you go brown. Armchair critic. Oh, how do you interpret Taxi Driver's climax? So I don't want to give too much away. But the way I would interpret it is, and I've not seen it for a while, but I just think it was a case of because again, it was a guy battling with his madness, a guy who was pretty much he was a weirdo. Travis Bickle is a weirdo, And that ending was him doing a heroic deed, but still maintaining his madness. And I think, yeah, that's the key. My interpretation of that is, despite him being a hero, he still remained a weirdo. And I think that is what that kind of iconic last shot in slow motion showed, was that, it showed that, yeah, this dude is gone. And this dude can't really properly function in the real world. And it just goes to, whenever people say, oh, if you're a hero, it will change your life and everything. Well, like as the saying goes, you can take the man out of the hood, you can't take the hood out of the man. So I just think that, that for me, it just forces me that Travis Bickle will always be Travis Bickle, essentially. No matter what he does, no matter what he achieves, his essence will always remain the same. So that's my interpretation, man. Oh, this is a great topic. I think this is so good that I want to just have this as one of the topics so forth, but I won't even say what's up slightly, man. Yes, there is always a biracial mixed woman who is there to represent the Black female quota. And that is what they're there for. So for a long time, it was Halle Berry. Then it has gone from Halle Berry. Then for some time, I've forgotten her name. Then from Halle Berry, it went to Thandie Newton. And then from Thandie Newton, we now have Gugu Mbatha-Raw. And Hollywood is trying to tell us that Black female beauty is light skin mixed. So we don't care about Naomi Harris. We don't care about Tiana Paris. We don't care about any of these. These is what will be acceptable. And these are the actresses that will get all the biggest roles. Because obviously, the other Black actresses will get roles, but the biggest roles that say, okay, this is a big, massive film that calls for, and you know what's so sick? There'll be this big, huge film. And in the script, it will say a Black female lead or a Black female co-lead. And at the top of the list, they say, is Thandie Newton available, or is Gugu Mbatha-Raw available, or can we get Halle Berry? And for them, in Hollywood's sick, twisted mind, they're like, yeah, this is, this, we've now done the Black female lead. And it's like, no, they're not Black women. They're mixed. They're biracial. Biracial women and mixed women have a particular look. And they have a particular aura about them that is different from Black women, So yeah, so you are 100% absolutely right. But I see through the BS. I see through the BS, and I will always call it as I see it. I always call it as I see it. Gugu Mbatha-Raw isn't Black. Thandie Newton isn't Black. Halle Berry isn't Black. They are mixed race. They are biracial. So they are filling the biracial mixed quota. And it's just the plain facts of the matter. No, bro, I can bet this right now. I can put money that an alien has bowled in a World Cup semi. I can bet this right now. I can bet right now that an alien has bowled in a World Cup semi or a World Cup final, because until you can give me evidence of a human being truly bowling in a World Cup semi, I don't know. And if it's say it between a human being or an alien in a World Cup semi, I'm going with an alien. I'm sorry. I'm going with an alien in a World Cup semi. I have to go with an alien in a World Cup semi. Oh, now we're talking. How far will technology advance in 50 years, man? Okay, before I answer that, do you know what my greatest fear is? I go into a time machine and I go like, let's say I'll go 400 years into the future, and I go out and it's like, oh my gosh, like human beings look different. People are together. People are sitting together and so forth. I'm seeing black, white, Cuban, Asian. I was like, oh my gosh, this is things are different. We finally got past our differences. We finally got past racism. We finally got past prejudice. I was like, oh my gosh, we did it. I'm crying and so forth. And then I just hear a voice say, yo, you black piece of crap, get off the side of the road before I hang you. That was always my greatest nightmare of like, wow, in 400 years' time, that still exists. What's your question, man? 50 years. I thought we would have flying cars now. I thought we'd have flying cars and flying houses. One thing is for sure, and this whole pandemic thing has definitely shown it, in 50 years, the internet will be a right. The internet will be as much a right as breathing is. It will be as accessible as like oxygen. So you would be able to access the internet anywhere. Anyway, so maybe call it super brand or chief ogre brand or something. There will be an element of the internet where from anywhere you are, you can access this. From anywhere you are, you can access the internet. So the internet will be on a whole other level of accessibility. I strongly doubt paper notes will be used. So I strongly doubt paper notes will be used. There will be less physical things around. Because when you look at what has really been happening, the acceleration of the online world has been quite outstanding to behold. So in 50 years' time, there'll be much less shops, much less cinemas, and much less kind of physical things. And the amounts of things you'll be able to do at home will be huge. But you know what I think will be the real big thing in 50 years? And maybe they'll not be there, is virtual reality. So VR may not be fully perfect, but I think there will be a strong element of virtual reality at home. So where at home, you will be able to, oh my gosh, like, let's go to, I mean, guys, imagine this, because they had this on Star Trek. Imagine if you're at home. We've got to now go to the airport. We've got to queue. We've got to get our passports. We've got to go this. We've got to go through immigration. We've got to get on a plane. Now, this could kill the plane industry. Imagine a VR mode. You plug in and say, Saturday, you've got the wife, you've got the kids. Guys, you know what? Let's go to Kenya or Nairobi. Let's go to Nairobi now. You plug in and you get mentally projected into Kenya. So you look at that and it's like Kenya, but you don't have to go on a plane, don't have to queue up. You just connect to it via a VR machine while you're at the crib. And obviously, there's always like you have to basically buy credits. And that's where the money's been made. Because obviously, when you go to Kenya, you now have to buy the credits, and you're there for a particular amount of time. That's all done via the credits and so forth on your VR thing. But all that time with regards to traveling is cut away. All that time of plane travel that'll be wild. But we may not be alive to see it, which is the sad thing. But that will be insane, man. Hey, John, you're from Kenya, man. What up, baby? Oh, wow. Machine, would you care to elaborate on that, please? In 50 years' time, we'll be living in a communist dystopia. Can you please elaborate on that, Mr. Machine? Because that's quite a lofty claim. Um, let's see. What is it? Let's think it was a utopia for Travis. Oh, perhaps maybe, it could be maybe in his mind and his psychology, he was like, you know what? I have just reached peace, you know. But I think utopia may be a bit too extra because a utopia is perfection. I don't think it was a utopia. A utopia is a literal perfection. And I don't think from what we saw, he achieved a utopia. Maybe it was just a place in which, not a utopia, but okay, this is the best possible scenario for me. It ain't perfect, but it's the best possible scenario for me psychologically and mentally. I haven't watched it yet, but I will watch it because look, I'm watching a lot of movies. I'll watch it this coming week though, because I think with the separation, I've got to get my mind in the right shape of frame, So, um, I got to mind in the right shape of frame. I see what it is saying, man. So let me ask you more. So why don't you think it won't replace travel? Now, trust me, people will fight against it, but just imagine a world where okay, why would you want to choose travel over a VR device? Now, remember this. One thing that will never be replaced by VR is going to the cinema, going to the restaurants, or going to the park. Restaurants will never be replaced. Never. Cinemas, less so, but never. But the whole point of the restaurants is the very process of going out. People don't go to the restaurants because they're hungry. They go there because of the process of going out and being within the building, the confines of a restaurant. That's why people go there. It's not about the food. It's about the social nature of going to that particular restaurant. That's why guys go there. So that will never be replaced. But for travel, why would you rather queue up for ages, have to go through immigration and all the rigmarole of all that, spend lots of time, rather than you have your VR thing in there, you put on the VR thing, you go through like a place, you go through the menu screen, hey, please, can you please give me your little passport stuff? Check your passport, check your visa, your immigration documents are good. Boom. We're in Nairobi. We're in Abuja. We're in Lesotho. We are in flipping Paris. We're in Netherlands, where apparently weed is free. That'd be amazing. Scary, but it would be amazing. It would be flipping amazing, bro. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Bro, you see, I don't like the word Trekkie because I don't like the label, but for me, I've always said Star Trek over Star Wars. Star Trek over Star Wars. And what would be crazy, in Star Trek, how they have the transporter things. If you can do that transportation thing, wow. Now that would be big. That'll be big, bro. Movie recommendation on Netflix. Ooh. Let me think on that. Movie recommendation, and actually let's open up Netflix right now. Let's see what's on Netflix. Because I can't really think of what's on Netflix right now, but let me give it a good go. All right, let's see. Definitely don't watch Black AF, man. I was trying to watch that TV show Black AF. Bro, not my thing. Not my thing at all, man. My casual view. I don't want casual viewing. Okay, okay, there we go. Films. Let's see what I can recommend for you on good old Netflix. Good old Netflix. Whoa, 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 whoa. I have to think on that. Wait, let me see. What is a? I think Big Lebowski might be on it. Big Lebowski might be on it. Um, say they want to end small and medium business. That is restaurants. Restaurants will always exist. Like restaurants will always exist. Like I don't know. I don't understand how you can end restaurants. You know, see, cinemas is another thing. See, cinemas I think will exist, but after this, it will be for a smaller extent. Who wants to just eat at home? People want to go to restaurants, specifically particular restaurants. You know, but for me, that's what I say. High end cinemas, I think, will still say what's up. So where similar like Everyman, where it's a bar and a cinema at the same time. Which is actually one idea I have. Because one idea I had was it's a restaurant and a cinema at the same time. Because for me, I always feel like if food and films go hand in hand. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, something like that, bro. It's like but for me, restaurants, because people always want to go out to restaurants. Restaurants is a big thing. When I saw people queue outside the restaurants, I said, okay, this is different. Okay, this is because these guys are not queuing because they're hungry, because there are several other shops and restaurants open. But why are you queuing outside this restaurant? Because there is something about dining in particular places that is actually part of human thing that I don't understand. For me, restaurants aren't big for me. I don't like restaurants. I really don't. I don't like the whole atmosphere of being in a restaurant and everything. I'm one of those dudes that say, order, give me a takeaway, and I'm basically eating it on the street. You know. But sitting down and like there's like an annoying kid running around, this baby is screaming as heck. You're hearing some stupid ass conversation. Nah. That's just not for me, man. I don't ride, man. Um, and on Schwarzenegger or Sly, who do you prefer? That's tough. That's tough. Um, it's it is hard to decide because they are so different and they bring two totally different qualities. Um, so like Sly is the better actor and he's a writer as well. So what Sly is able to do as a writer and an actor and so forth, Annie can do. So see, Annie isn't a creator. He can't create things in and of himself. But Sly can. Sly is able to do that. But Sly doesn't have the presence that Annie has. The biggest mistake that Sly made was making himself the main character in Expendables. That was the biggest mistake he made because Sly thinks he's Annie when he's not. So I think the strength of Annie is Annie knows his limitations. Annie knows that, bro, I know what I can and I can't do. Sly thinks he can do everything. Sly isn't a leading man. He is a actor, a particular kind of character actor. And that is where his strength is at. And he's very good at producing and creating things and projects. Maybe that's, you know what, I'm going to save that topic for another topic for another day, which is why Expendables got botched up. Expendables should have made a bill. Expendable should have made a bill. How do you have a film with Sly, Annie, Eric Roberts, Mickey Rourke, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, and Van Damme, and you don't make a bill? But I'll go into detail on that on another stream, because Expendable should have made a bill. Augmented humans will make us live forever. I've always thought about the next evolution of human beings, in a sense of like, could you reach a stage of where, because I've always said so that, could you have a human being who his brain power is greater, or a human being who can maybe fly, who can maybe run at an extremely fast speed? Or will human beings, and this is where things get tricky, create a technology to augment human beings? In uni, we were learning this thing about prenatal engineering, where there could be and they cover this in Gattaca, the sci-fi film, where you can say, all right, I want my child to be fast. I want my child to be strong. And I want my child to have brown eyes, to have blue eyes, to have red hair, blonde hair, and everything. So you're messing up with nature. And my thing about it is, if human beings start to mess with nature and start to play God, will nature fight back? And again, even go to the whole thing of like, immortality is, could immortality be where you can, before you die, you can take someone's consciousness and put it into a machine, or like an augmented human being, a human being who's like maybe like an android or something. So that's maybe immortality, where like the flesh is gone, and then I don't know whether that is possible, or that's just science fiction of, is consciousness a thing you can extrapolate and input into something? So it's crazy, because you say to yourself, wait a minute, like, does the concept of the soul even exist? Or is it just something, or is it just like an illusion? Where no, like, this whole thing of soul and consciousness, no, it's just your brain. Once your brain switches off, your soul and your consciousness switches off. Your consciousness, your soul, your thoughts are all linked in to the processes of your brain. But it's wild, man. It's wild. But then you say to yourself that, would you want to be immortal? Because obviously we're all afraid of death at one point. But would you want to be immortal in the sense of like, okay, well, you can live forever. And do what? So do you really want to live through what kind of madness human beings will go through? So just because that's the thing I've thought to myself, that people, okay, yeah, I don't want to die, I want to be immortal. But just think about it, living forever for thousands of years. Because I think at one point you'll just go mad. At a point you'll go mad. I'm like, bro, like, I can't take this anymore. Or I need something new. So that's the wild thing, man. Yeah, can someone tell me this? What was he tweeting? Because my friend sent me a WhatsApp saying that Elon Musk's tweets lost Tesla 4 billion. So I was like, oh, what? Wait, let me see. Elon Musk. Okay, all right. Let's see what the heck this kid is saying. All right. Tesla boss Elon Musk wipes 14 billion of the company's value after tweeting its share price was too high. Tesla's stock price too high, in my opinion. He said in his several tweets that included a vow to sell his possessions. In other tweets, he said his girlfriend was mad at him, while another simply read, rage against the dying of the light of consciousness. Wow. Soccer search has searched. I'm selling almost all physical possessions. Will own a no house. Okay, so you know what was, and guys, that is the danger of Twitter, man. That is the danger of Twitter is, which is why I have to be wary about it because it's so easy to tweet. It's like I have this emotion, tweet, 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 tweet. And we talked about this before, cancel culture. Or people are so desperate to be like, when is this dude gonna have that tweet that we can grab onto and be like, yeah, we got you. We got you. Boom. Yeah, we got you, man. You're that prick. So it's crazy. And you can't take back a tweet. Because as soon as you tweet it, somebody has screenshotted it. There are people who spend all their day on Twitter. If they see something crazy, they're like, "Oh my gosh, tweet, retweet, screen grab, boom." So it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and you can't take it back, man. You cannot take it back. Yeah, so they say that. You see, the thing about altered carbon is, I mean, it sounds like probably like a neat idea or something, but I've always been a bit like, I don't know. From what I saw of the show, from the preview, what I saw from the show, I'm like, it just seems it seems a bit dodgy. It seems a bit dodgy. I like the actor though. From the first, I like the actor. He was in RoboCop, but I don't know, like something about it just doesn't really sit well with me, man. You see, the thing about Twitter, I think guys are talking about Twitter right now. Same thing with social media. You know, I stopped reading my timeline. So I only read my notifications. So I read what's trending. I read tweets of people that I follow, and I read my notifications because basically I tweet from like I can tweet from here, so I can tweet without actually being on the platform because it destroys the brain cells. Going on the timeline and just going through just stuff, and guys just posting just the weirdest, craziest stuff, you know. And sometimes there are people who just tag me in this weird thing. So social media can be dangerous. And which is why I'm working hard on like, man, pick up a book and read. Like, look, I've got my Naruto manga, man. I'm going to just get back to reading, man. So, but yeah, Twitter is the home of cancel culture, and it's the home of dumb hashtags. Oh, blah 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 is over, party. Blah 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 is over. Cancel this, cancel that. Oh, he's canceled. I can't do. I'm like, shut up, shut the heck up. Get something better to do with your life rather than just sitting down because you're bored and you've got nothing else to do. I now want to um thingy with people. So okay, so Janovan, you kept talking to me on Twitch about this. Guys, your boy is in Atlanta. Follow me on my Twitch, Atlanta. Your boy H is at Atlanta. What is cool about TikTok? If TikTok is just about doing dance routines, there is no way in hell I'm going on TikTok. I'm sorry, you know, because all I see from TikTok are just guys doing dance routines right now. So I say TikTok, Snapchats, lip chats, flip chats. Guys, look, I'm in my 30s, bro. Okay, I'm in my 30s right now. I don't want to reveal my age, you know. I'm in my 30s apparently. I'm in my 30s, or maybe I'm 15. Who knows? Who knows how old HH truly is? But HH, there's no way in hell I'm dancing on TikTok, you know. So there's no way that I'm gonna go and do a thing on TikTok, man. You must be sick, man. Sorry, bro. What did I say, man? You see, Instagram Instagram is for women. You see, now Instagram has actually sort of grown in this whole pandemic thing. So Instagram has now been this new. So Instagram has now sort of not has not been this new thing for doing lives. But Instagram is really for women to show how beautiful they are. All those pics are fake. All those pics have all this crazy kind of fades and all this stuff in it. But it's about women, showing how fake they are. Fake tits, fake ass, and that face really isn't them themselves. But I think Instagram right now has now been a great place for doing lives, I think. All right, let me just take a few more and I'll be out of here, bro. Do you think schools should stick to online classes even if things return to normal? If I was a student, I would hope so. It would never happen because the school is an institution, and the whole point of an institution is we are watching your every move, and we are trying to discipline you to prepare you for the world to be a certain place that you can be. It's the school is a conveyor belt of building like a uniform army. That's why do you wear uniforms in schools? Now, obviously, when you get to university, is see with uni, bro. Like, see, at university, I think it would make sense for it to be online because uni is different. Like school and high school, it's about being part of a system and being part of a uniform. Hence why I wore a beanie cap to be different. So, so in that sense, now they will still force you to go to schools. But I think for uni and so forth, it should be it should just be like standard. Do it online. I didn't go to that many of my lectures, and it makes it easier for everyone. Where it's like, okay, boom, you can just log in, Zoom your online class, make it happen, Zoom out. Why do you need to go to this lecture that isn't even compulsory? So it makes so much sense if unis just do online classes. I think it would be so much better. It would be so much better, and you can go to campus. So, or maybe they'll be like, okay, this is a particular class where you are needed to be on campus specifically, but for every other class, why do you need to go to a classroom? Just do your thing there. Alex Jones is hilarious and scary. I think someone even said that on my comments. He's hilarious and scary at the same time. Because he's funny. Because I was watching his InfoWars for many, many years before he got banned. So watch his video with Piers Morgan. I told you before. I'll do it again. I said again. We love our guns. We love our guns. He's mad. He's mad. But I think he's trolling. He can't strongly believe that what he's doing is right. But the thing about it is that even if he's trolling, there is a guy called Billy Bob or Billy Ray in a trailer who is like, okay, I'm gonna let Alex Jones. I'm gonna take a gun. I'm gonna skip my cellar neighbor. I'm gonna eat right out like my foot. So there's someone literally on the road called Billy Ray who may be listening to Alex Jones, and that is why your boy AJ could be very, very dangerous indeed, man. All right. Bro, that's a discussion for another time. It's such a big discussion. I think that's a discussion for another time. But what did Obama really do in his presidency? The first non-white president, not the first black president, the first non-white president. Don't disrespect his white mother, but was Obama just a figurehead? What did he actually do? What do presidents actually do? Do presidents really evoke or actually engineer any change. So that's the thing, man. Oh wow, bro, this ain't gonna hit. Chill, bro. A whole year without football. Now we're talking food stuff. Pizza or lasagna pasta dishes. Okay, I mean this will be my last one, man. Pizza or lasagna pasta dishes. Gotta go with pasta. As cool as pizza is, pizza for me is like a snack. And even if it's a snack, pizza can actually be quite unhealthy the way it's made. Pasta, you can have heavy pasta, you can have healthy pasta, and there's more variation of pasta you can have. You can have rigatoni, you can have penne, you can have arrabbiata, you can have it with stew, you can have it with green pesto, you can have it with red pesto, you can have it just dry by itself. You can mix it with so many different things. You can have it with a salad, with this, and you can have it with salad, you can have it, but it is just so quality and so good that it's amazing. And we know right now, guys, I think that it is time I cook myself some stew. I think it's time I cook myself some stew. Yeah, I think it's time to cook some stew. But first, I must lay down because there's another live at 10. So, guys, remember, I'm out. So, tomorrow I'll be back here again from maybe 7:15 because tomorrow I've got to do some work from home tomorrow. So, slightly later time of 7:15 we'll be going live, and that is where so actually it might be 8 p.m. Actually, you know what? It's going to be 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. I'm going to shove it to 8 p.m. So I think for Sundays, we're going to shove it over to 8 p.m. So it's going to be 8 p.m. on Sunday because I've got to do some work stuff just to make sure that the whole thing is cool. And it's going to be wrestling. We're going to talk about the rise and fall of WWF. But guys, I will say this again because this helps me out. Any suggestions or any topics you want me to talk about for these upcoming shows, email your boy at myhavapod@gmail.com. The link to the email is in the description box below, and I will do my best to read the emails and look at these suggestions. Or if you just want to email me just to ask about anything whatsoever, this is the personal email official email of the Half Pump Songs. Guys, final thing to say is this: stay safe. Thank those nurses. Thank those doctors. And I'll leave you with this quote. The starfish may rise above the waterfall, but where does the waterfall rise to? I'll leave you with that. If you figure out that quote, you would have figured out a very important element of the meaning of life. 1, stay loved. Your boy's out. Peace through. Let's ride.